There's been blood, there's been sweat, and yes, there have even been a few tears along the way. But the SWARCO Raiders capped an exciting season, successfully defending their Euro Bowl title with a convincing victory over the Paris Flash in Euro Bowl 23. I'm Christy Johnson, and this Euro Bowl edition of Beyond the Field starts right now.
The Euro Bowl is the European Super Bowl. It is the direct equivalent of the Champions League in soccer.
It's a championship of the European leagues, all vying for number one in Europe.
It's the biggest game in Europe. It's a chance to play for a championship.
It's the ultimate. It's definitely, a big time game.
Psychological warfare is defined as any weapon used to influence the mindset of the enemy. And that's exactly what the Paris Flash tried to employ against the SWARCO Raiders even before the first snap. But the defending Euro Bowl champions weren't buying into the intimidation.
It looked like they wanted to come fight. And they headed right towards us. I thought we were going to have a brawl. We were much more composed, and they were hyper, wanting to show us that they were tough.
They tried to intimidate you with these, I don't know, they were singing French or something and, doing their hoopla. And, they're big guys, but I think after you watch it a couple times, it gets a little old.
This wasn't our first rodeo. We won it last year. We'd had every single Euro Bowl game at home. So, for us, go ahead and jump up and down. Go ahead and sing your songs. We weren't going to get psyched out. We knew that once the ball was kicked off, that's when the real talking began.
It didn't psych us out. It made us more focused. And I noticed the look on our guys' faces once they were doing that. It was just kind of like batten down the hatches and let's do this. It's go time.
The atmosphere at Tivoli Stadium got even more intense once the ball was snapped in what proved to be the most physical opponent the Silver and Black have faced all season.
Going into it, we knew it was going to be a battle. They were big and they're physical, and we'd seen what they'd done, and physically they were larger than us. Left three of our guys in the hospital. A couple of them are still there.
From the standpoint of injuries, it looked like it was very physical. We have come to find out three people got hurt very significantly with 2 broken legs and a lacerated kidney.
You have the 2 strongest, biggest teams in Europe going head-to-head. And it began in the first quarter when we tried to run the ball, and Matt Epperson goes down with a broken leg on just a freak play. And then in the second quarter, our starting fullback goes down. So there's 2 guys with broken legs. And I'd never seen 2 broken legs in my history of playing football.
Even though 2 players went down, the team stayed composed, the team stayed together, they didn't panic, and the young guys stepped up in their position, and we just kept rolling.
It almost motivated us in a sense. When Matt went down and he showed so much emotion and passion about the game, and he really was rooting us on as a team, it was huge, a motivational factor for us.
When Matt had his injury, and it was a pretty serious-looking thing, the way he went off, bumping his chest and yelling at our guys, I was up in the booth looking down on that, and it just, I had this feeling of like, we're okay. We just lost our biggest cog in the wheel offensively, but we're fine. We can still do this.
So the Raiders rallied the troops and, despite the adversity, dominated the first half, controlling the ball for over 20 minutes. 19-year-old kicker Trinkle Emmanuel converted on 2 field goal attempts, and tailback Florian Grind punched it in on 4th and goal for a 13-0 lead with just over 2 minutes remaining in the half. But when the Paris Flash returned the ensuing kickoff 77 yards for a touchdown, the SWARCO Raiders once again needed to step up and make a statement.
Football is all about momentum, and we had really dominated the first half on the field, but we'd only had 13 points. So when they scored that touchdown to get within 7, we knew we had to answer.
Anytime a team makes a statement, especially after their kickoff return, we'd controlled a majority of the time in the first half and came up with 13 points, and then boom, just like that, they were right back at the game in a matter of 7 seconds. Geez, we just did all that, and it's only a 7-point game right now.
And I was kind of laughing. I looked up at the scoreboard, and it was literally exactly 2 minutes. 2 timeouts, the same situation we practice at the end of every practice week.
For us to take the ball down and score, I think it kind of made them think, ooh, I don't think we can win.
Florian Grind mit seinem 2. Touchdown an diesem Abend.
It was kind of like, it's not going to be that easy, fellas.
The Flash struck first in the second half to bring the French club within 7, But once again, the defending champions answered with an incredible 58-yard touchdown run by game MVP Florian Grein.
The Flash were really overplaying our fly sweep and our toss game. They definitely scouted us well. They did their homework. And on the first time we went trips and ran a fly sweep to the short side of the field, the safety ran with them. And we just watched that, and we watched how the backers shifted, and we didn't have to block the backside end. So Flo went untouched all the way through. I think that sealed the deal, that play alone.
Trips right, Y5, 36. And when that play came in the huddle, I knew it was going to be a big play. And I saw Andy Proller go in motion, and I saw their safety follow him. And as soon as I faked it and gave it to Flo, I knew he was gone. That play right there really put the game away in my mind. Even though it was still close, that play right there gave us so much momentum, we were able to ride it for the rest of the game.
The swarming SWARCO defense dominated, refusing to let Paris challenge, holding the Flash to just 3 yards rushing on the day, and storming quarterback Jeffrey Walsh all night long.
To describe this matchup to American fans, it's kind of like a Big Ten team, the Paris Flash, playing the SEC. You know, we got a little bit more speed. We're going to rally to the ball.
They had 3 big, bruising running backs, and so we really knew that we had to control the line of scrimmage.
Holding the team to 3 yards rushing that, has NFL Europe caliber running backs, big running backs that average, I think they averaged 135 a game, something like that. We knew that would be the deciding factor for us defensively.
It felt good to hit the quarterback. That's all the intention. Just go out there and hit the quarterback, make his life miserable on the field. And I think we accomplished that. Everybody was getting pressured. The quarterback was panicking. He was just throwing balls away.
The silver and black remained strong and focused through the fourth, and in the end, all that was left to do was take a knee, drench the coach, and begin the celebration. With a 30-19 win, the SWARCO Raiders achieved something very few teams ever accomplish, successfully defending their title and being crowned Euro Bowl champions for the 2nd consecutive year.
This win was the culmination of an amazing journey for this team. And I think what makes this so special is that in America, you have a group of professional players playing together. It's your job. Over here, it's a family, and you're winning a championship with brothers.
Going into the season, there were so many question marks. New head coach, all new imports, several guys from last year had set down the pads. It was kind of one of those moments where you kind of just take a step back and remove yourself from the scenario and just kind of look around, and you're just like, wow, we did it.
Oh, the champagne. I always wanted to shake the champagne bottle after a championship win. So when I seen them handing the bottle, everybody's reaching for it. I quickly snatched the bottle and waited for somebody to pop the bottle. I just shook it over as hard as I could. I was so happy I got to shake the champagne bottle. It was amazing.
I've never been a part of a championship, so the celebration was unbelievable. You could see it in all the players' eyes. I mean, even though they'd won it before, you'd think this was the first time.
It's been a wonderful journey. And, this is the culmination of a journey. To win the final game is like, this is what it's all about.